Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Friday, June the 9th, and that means I'm joined by Mr. Jesse Shule of jesseshule.com, Mr. Sean Higgs of picksandparleys.net. I'm Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com. You're watching the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, and this is the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast brought to you by gamblersworld.com. Jesse, how are you, my man? I see you went 3-0 yesterday. I was
back to back, Ross. Back-to-back sweeps. So feeling pretty good about everything.
No wig. No wig.
I sweep so much I can't bust it out every day. I'll wear it out,
Sean, how are you, man?
Listen, I swept the board yesterday. I went 1-0, but
yeah.
And I had a postponement in the Nannies game. But Jess, how do you say that? You sweep someone. Now you know what's going to happen. Now you're going to have a 1 in 6
it happens
weekend. Here comes the 1 in 6
every time
weekend.
I get cocky like that. Yeah, no, I know. It's the kiss of death.
The 1 in 6 weekend.
Oh
my goodness.
So Sean went 1-0 yesterday. I also had a play in the Arizona game that got canceled with Washington. I went 2-0. So between the three of us, our premium picks 6-0. So for all you wise guys out there, and I'm talking wise guys, not wise guys like sports betting wise guys out there that discourage other members from paying for picks, or as one guy put it, wow, you guys charge your picks? That's crazy. That shows you why you pay for picks, folks. We're doing tremendous here on these videos, on these podcasts, I should say. Over the last 12 weeks, we're just a shade over 60% still. And we went 2-1 on the last show. And throughout the NBA Finals, our three shows having to do with the three games in the NBA Finals thus far, 10-2. Not bad, right, Jesse?
Well, and we do have a Denver -2.5 bet pending at +325 that looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, there you go. You still got to win 2 games. Remember that. It's still a series. Although
no,
Denver looked awfully good. Go ahead, Sean. Let's hear your comments.
I'm gonna say it's not a series. The Denver one looks good, but as for the picks, I get that a lot too. So you're still. Listen, the free pick. I want the free picks to win, if not as much or more than a paid pick.
Oh yeah.
But the pay thing is, we put work in. Yeah, support, even if it's you come and just say, because I have people come in like, hey, I brought a week for you just because you do the show all the time. It doesn't crush them. If you don't have $30 or $40 or $50 for a week or a day, like, you shouldn't be betting, period. And you don't do something yourself. You're not installing plumbing in your house. Like, this is what we do all the time.
What blows my mind, Sean, is you get these guys saying, why would I pay for picks? But then you go online and you try to read an article in like a major newspaper and you hit a paywall and it's like, oh, you have to subscribe and you have to pay us. If you want to keep on reading this article, you got to pay.
That's a good point. I say that too. Yeah.
You go on YouTube, you follow your favorite YouTube channel for entertainment, and you got to subscribe to be in the comment section. You got to become a member. I mean, nothing's free these days. What's free? I mean, everybody's getting paid for their work. Why should we be any different?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I say. I think.
But what I mean, you pay somebody to do a job. Again, I'm not paying my house. I'm having an electrician come in. This is what I've been doing for this nonstop since probably like 2000 and really seriously in 04. But before that, I was betting since 1990. Right? You've done it long enough. You consider yourself an expert or a pro or in the top 1% of probably or that.
Absolutely.
If you get up and go do something like, I'm gonna go work.
I would like to know these guys who are, and excuse me, Sean, let me interject here before I lose my train of thought. And we all know that when Sean talks, sometimes his opinions aren't only strong, but they're long. But that's okay. That's why I'm here to control them. And the bottom line,
you need an auto mute for me.
Anyway, Sean and Jesse, the bottom line is this, I'd like to know, you people who say, I can't believe you charge for picks. Another guy gets on, I bought his $2 pick. Here's what he likes. I mean, could you imagine any one of these guys working whatever they do for a living, and at the end of 8 hours telling them, sorry guys, we're not paying you today. We had a bad day as a business altogether. You know, they lose their mind. They would. What's so different? I mean, the bottom line is we're not just three yo-yos sitting at the bar talking about sports betting. We do this for a living, and we've been doing it for over 2 decades, each one of us. Okay. You don't last in this business if you're not a consistent winner and you don't put out a quality product. And we're not phone salesmen. We're handicappers. We're not touts. We're handicappers. We're sports betting experts. And what do you do with experts in any field? Very few on any field will even do anything comp for you. But I can guarantee when you want their best material, their best stuff, you have to pay. I know I do. You know?
Fact of the matter is, Ross, if anybody watches the first 3 shows in the NBA finals that we've put out there, they see the analysis we put out. They see the detail we've talked about, the predictions we've made. They can see we've done our homework, and that's a product. That's a product that is invaluable. It's worth paying for. Whether some people might want to pay for it or not is up to them. But there's certainly plenty of people that would, and the results speak for themselves. And it sells itself. We don't even have to sell it. When you have results like that, 10-2 in 3 games into a series, I mean, people are lining up to get the next picks. There's no question. Yeah,
no doubt about it. And the bottom line is, how are you doing in the NBA playoffs with your premium picks, Jesse?
65%, 34 and 18.
Sean, somewhere around 57%, right?
Yes. I'll give you 2 seconds. Yeah, 56%, 15 and 12.
What's wrong with that? Okay. The bottom line is he's winning. Myself, 41 and 22. I've won my last 7 in the NBA playoffs. I've won 14 of my last 18 and 24 of my last 32 NBA playoff picks. Ranked number 1 at Sports Memo in terms of money earned. Jesse's ranked number 1 at Sports Memo in terms of winning percentage. And he's given out the only difference between me and Jesse right now. We have the exact winning percentage. I made more plays. And when you're hitting the same winning percentage, you're going to make a little more money. So all 3 of us are winning. Sean's one of the best Major League Baseball handicappers in the country. No, he doesn't hit a high percentage because he's not giving you 170 and 180s all week long. You know, he's a guy that keeps his favorites under 140 for the most part and plays a lot of underdogs. So we're good at what we do, folks. And here's the thing with these free picks we give you on this channel, like Sean just alluded to. Certainly we want to win all these free picks. And look at folks, we're a little over 60% in the last 12 weeks. So obviously we're making an effort to win even with free picks. So come on, get off that bandwagon of in this crusade about not paying handicappers. You're paying the wrong handicappers, so you got a bad opinion. Do your research. Anyway, Jesse, tell the folks, Denver and Miami right now, Denver -3.5 and 210.5. Game 4, Denver coming off a convincing game 3 win. Both of you guys had Denver on the money line. I had Denver on the money line as my $2 pick that 215 people paid for, by the way, for all you.
And some guy was trying to talk people out of spending $2.
No,
you know what I mean?
Sugar. I mean, we're putting out this effort, making everybody a lot of money, and some guy's going, don't pay him $2. Here's his pay. I mean, yeah, a lot of class, right? Anyway, Jesse, go ahead. You know, let's get on the positive things.
Prior to game 3, I came on this show and I said Miami shot roughly 50% from beyond the arc. In game 2, they won the game because they hit all those 3-point shots. And what are we going to see? We're going to see some regression because you see an anomaly. You expect it to get closer to the mean moving forward. So what did we see in game 3? Exactly what I thought we would see. But Miami shot just 37% from the field. That's pretty bad. 31% from 3-point range. I expect Miami to improve on those numbers. I expect a few guys to hit a few shots. I think Miami will This is their last stand. I'm not going to bet on Miami. I'm heavily invested in Denver. I still like Denver in this game. I mean, anybody who watched the last show will know that I'm riding a ticket with Denver to win in 5 at plus 335. I've got a bunch of props on the Joker and a bunch of Denver props that I'm waiting to cash if Denver continues to win. So I like Denver to actually get the win, but I like Miami to put up a better fight and score more points and hit more shots. And on that note, the regression that I'm expecting is positive regression for Gabe Vincent. The guy is averaging 16 points per game in the finals. He averaged 16 points per game in the Eastern Conference final against the Celtics. He was brutal in game 3, 2 of 10 from the field, 1 of 6 from three-point range. Positive regression should see him make at least a few more shots. And his points total heading into this game is 12.5. For a guy that's averaging 16, 12.5 is a low number in my opinion. So I'm going to expect that regression to the mean. We're going to go with Gabe Vincent over 12.5 points minus 115. And I got that line from Bet365.
There you go. Gabe Vincent over 12.5 points minus 115. Now, if you listen closely to Jesse's analysis, even if he loses his pick, folks, there's something to be learned from that, because you're talking about a true pro, a guy who's hit over 60% of his picks over the last 2 years, and he just didn't come up with that type of analysis off the top of his head. This is something he's been looking at, and it's part of his arsenal, and he found some betting value within it. So again, I'm not saying Jesse won't win. He's been winning consistently on this show, but in case he doesn't, or in case Sean doesn't, or in case I don't, listen to the analysis. Chances are the analysis we're giving you on any one of these picks are something that we've remembered from the past, something we've done well with in the past. It's not assuring you you're going to win today, but it's something you could put in your memory bank, and you're taking something away from the show. In other words, again, making you a smarter sports bettor today than yesterday. Sean, make us smarter today than yesterday.
Well, no one ever called me smart. Called a lot of things. Anyway, so 3, I think, picks on the show from here. We had under game 1, over game 2, and Denver. So I want to keep a perfect streak going here. And I'm with Jesse, right? I have a lot of Denver stuff. We've talked about that from when the series started. So I'm happy with that position. Do I want to lay a 3.5 or a 140? Not because of what Jesse said. I think Miami, we got to score some points here, Miami. Well, here comes the last stand. I sort of like the over in last game. I thought Miami at home shoot a little better. They did not. You're down. The old pivotal circle of wagons kind of nonsense, cliche. I'll make it smarter because I'll just come into all the cliche kind of talk. Yes, that's kind of real kind of stuff when your back's up against the wall. We saw it with the Panthers last night, right? They came out, finally played some defense, but to say Miami outright or a cover, no. But I could say in Miami over team total 105.5 at a plus 115, I'm going to take a shot with them there. Again, the shooting, Jesse hits all these stats on just a particular guy. That's fine. But that also translates to 4 other guys on their team who are having a series like that, where they have to come back to the means a little bit. You're so bad on one side. No, just like us. All right, we're 10-2 or whatever. We could lose a game here, folks. It happens. You can't be hitting that kind of thing. Just like you can't lose like that on a balance. I'm getting plus money at a 105.5 on a desperate team here with their season on the line. I'll take the 115 over 105.5 points.
So Miami over 105.5 points at money line odds of minus 115.
Plus 115.
Plus 15, excuse me.
He is the plus dollar daddy, Ross.
Yeah, I should have known better, right? And there's a distinct difference there, folks. Plus money is always nice. And Jesse likes Gabe Vincent over 12.5 points. Jesse also, if I recall right, Sean brought up the Stanley Cup Finals, and not to get off our path here, but didn't you have the Conn Smythe winner? You had Jonathan Marchessault?
Marchessault, yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty good right now.
Plus 625. It looks pretty good right now, yeah.
Yeah, he's the leading scorer in the series. I mean,
and since you brought it up, Ross, last night I appeared on Bet Win Repeat with Lenny Detroit, or Detroit Lenny.
Detroit Lenny, man, get it right.
And I called the exact score in overtime, 3-2 Panthers in overtime. I got the goal score wrong. I picked Kachuk to get the goal, but
Well, he was right in front. He almost did. He almost tipped that in, you know.
yeah, and the guy that scored has a beard, looks kind of similar. So not bad, not bad.
Chuck got
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right now.
Huge tying goal with a little over 2 minutes to go back to Chuck, though. So anyway, get back on track. My pick in Denver and Miami game 4. I'm going to look at the total here, which is 210.5. You know, Denver has shot 50.6% or better in all 3 games in this series. That's incredible shooting at this time of year. NBA Finals, when you're playing an elite team like Miami. Yet they're only averaging 107 points per game, which is, that dichotomy doesn't add up. Well, why? Because they're playing at such a snail's pace offensively. If you look at their field goal attempts through the first 3 games, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in each one of those contests, they had less than 80 field goal attempts per game. So as good as they're shooting, they're only averaging 107 points per game because of their pace. Also, they're only hitting 31% of their 3-point shots in the series. They're also averaging just 8 3-point makes per game throughout the series, which is very low by NBA standards. And now you look at Miami. Yeah, Jesse mentioned their 3-point shooting up and down. You know, the first game, 33%, second game, 48%, third game, 31%. They're shooting a plethora of threes. When you look at their field goal attempts, 41% of their field goal attempts have been from 3-point range. They're only shooting 46% from inside the 3-point arc, I should say, 2-point shot attempts. Comparatively, Denver's at 59%. So you can see why they're up in the series. Pretty easy to decipher through that. And both teams aren't turning the ball over, guys. I mean, Miami's only averaged 7.7 turnovers per game in the first 3 games of this series, while Denver 11.3. Those are very low numbers. And what that means is you're not getting a lot of easy baskets via transition due to turnovers. So I'm going under. I'm going Miami and Denver under the total of 210.5. Look, you look at the sequence of totals in this series, 219, down to 216, down to 213, down to 210.5. Okay. Yeah, I'm a proponent sometimes when they keep coming down the ladder, go the other way. But seeing the way this series has been played and everything I just mentioned, I got to go under again, 210.5. Your thoughts, Jesse?
Well, that makes sense if Denver, well, put it this way, I think Denver is going to be pretty happy if it goes under, because I think Miami's only shot is to hit their shots, hit their threes. And I sort of have a gut feeling, and just like I said, the regression to the mean, that they're going to be a little bit better shooting and they're going to push a little harder tonight. I see them coming up short. But yeah, I mean, there's no way I would be on that 210.5 just for the sake of the fact that it opened at 219 and it's gone all the way down. I don't like to bet into numbers like that. But you made valid points. I'm not going to say you're wrong. That's for darn sure.
Okay, but yeah, we can't agree all the time.
But I do expect it to be a better game. I don't expect it to be a one-sided game. I can see Jimmy Butler go. I would have liked to have taken the Butler points total over tonight. The reason I didn't is because it went from 24.5 in the last game to 26.5 in this game. And just like your play on the under, when the number moves the wrong way against the way I want to go, I don't want to be on that bet. So while I think Jimmy Butler is probably going to get a bunch of points tonight, and while I think that you could be onto something with a low score, the fact that the number is so low, that would keep me off.
Yeah, so Jimmy Butler, he made the comment after game 3 that he needs to be more aggressive and assertive. And I think that's where we're seeing that spike from 24.5 to 26.5, Jesse, because
and he had a decent game in game 3 too. I mean, he was more aggressive. He was making a point to go to the basket.
Well, he needs to be. I mean, when they were successful, he was a one-man show and everybody else followed path. Now he's sort of sharing the ball a little too much, not being aggressive, taking it to the hole enough. And I don't want to criticize the guy. He's had a great postseason. But Sean, my pick sort of is contrary to what you were saying with Miami going over the total 105.5. That doesn't mean the game can't go under, but just your quick thoughts in that regard.
Yeah. And yeah, because you look at Miami going back to the Celtics series. Now, they scored a bunch of points in the first 3 games, 128, 111, 120, or 123, 128, and 111 in the 3 games.
Yeah.
Nothing since then. I mean, forget about getting to a 105 that I want. They did that once in Denver. They're barely scoring 100 points. Yeah. So to your point of Jimmy Butler, like, what has happened since game 3 where they've kind of fallen off a cliff there, being up 3-0 with the offense really clicking? Like, I like the 105 because you're home, must win. You've shot better. Like, we see them do that in the Boston series. And as you mentioned with their 3-point shooting, and I like the coach. Like, where is the aggressiveness? Like we thought we'd see in game 2. I like the over. I'm thinking they're going to go to the basket, get some easy shots or a foul, and get to the line. Whatever. I can't say no to that. I mean, and I'm all about over adjustment looks too low. I understand that, right? We're at 219. Now we're at 210. And Miami scored 94, 93, 97, 99 in the. Going back to Boston, 103, not even putting up a bunch of it's I can't hate on. I'm on the other side, but as far as I'm concerned, that's a flip. It's what you believe in. That's why we have a show. We don't always think alike in the way we do things.
Absolutely.
I think Miami comes out and plays a little ball tonight. I mean, that's just the way it's a stupid way to look at it. Sometimes you're like, oh, that guy, you're a pro, and you think anybody could think that. Well, sometimes it's simple. Sometimes I'm like, hey, you know what? I think this is going to happen. I don't know why. That's just what I think. I mean, these are professional players. You played like crap. You're down. Come out and play.
They're professional.
And then the comparison to the hockey. That's the way it is sometimes. We see this often across series.
Well, let's face it. Game 2 in Denver, the Nuggets played defense like they didn't think they had to play defense, right? They thought we own this. They were way too comfortable. They didn't play defense. Yeah. They learned that they have to play defense if they want to be champions. So they went to Miami. Game 3, they played fantastic defense. Yeah. But what's the natural?
And they took like the fourth quarter off too. They took the fourth quarter off in that game, I think.
So the natural occurrence is now they're back on their high hogs again. Yeah. Let it slide a little bit. Don't there's every reason to think they're not going to be quite as good defensively in game 4 as they were in game 3.
Yeah, Ross brought up like the shooting percentages. Like Denver's, they shot 80 shots, 79 shots inside. We're not shooting outside. Folks, if you haven't noticed, they're up 2-1 in the finals. This is a good team. People don't think it's a good, like, Denver, they're going to lose to KD. It's KD. Okay. Oh, they're going to lose to LeBron. Okay. Yeah. Folks, a good team wins however they got to win. All right. They might have not the coaching edge.
I think
they've done what they have to do. We'll shoot threes. We'll play defense. We won't shoot threes. We'll do this. Hi, they're 2 games away. They're looking comfortable at minus 900 for the series.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I think that if Miami went into the series and you would have told them at the end of game 3, Denver would be only averaging 107 points per game, I think they would have liked their chances of being ahead in the series.
Yeah.
And that's where my under comes in. The bottom line is Denver's shooting the ball extremely well. Mostly within inside the 3-point arc and not outside the 3-point arc. 50.6% or better in 3 games, and yet they're only averaging 107. Pace is another situation you want to look at when you're handicapping a total in the NBA. So,
and there's no reason for Denver to change anything, right?
No.
Why would they change? They're going to come out and they're going to do exactly what they did in the first 3 games because it's been working.
Yeah. There's no answer for Joker, and then watch out if Murray shoots his threes. It's
like Murray.
They're winning by 10 points a game. It's not even close. They're toying with them.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. Gabe Vincent over 12.5 points from Jesse Shule. Sean Higgs likes the Miami Heat over 105.5 points at money line odds of plus 115 because he's a plus money guy. And I like Denver and Miami under the total of 210.5. I'll say this real quickly and I'll let these guys do their promos. I do have a 10-star top play winning side on game 4 of the NBA playoffs. You can get it right now at my site. It's not $2, it's $49. Now you're going to see holy hell break loose because I'm charging $49 for a pick. And some of you people out there were balking at $2.
Listen, buy the $49 pick. He's got to buy an air filter for the Canadian smoke up there.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to say the Canadian smoke. Yeah, it's coming from Nova Scotia. It's blowing along the Atlantic Ocean. I can't breathe outside. I stay inside now in the middle of summer. And I say it's not from the Canadian smoke. I'm saying it's from my NBA playoff picks. I've been on fire, and now it's blowing all across the country.
Oh, my goodness. This has turned into a Stu show. All right, can I do a Dr. Ron Bash next?
No, Stu's show is 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0.
Oh, Jesse's Stu.
Yeah. Anyway, Jesse, tell the folks what you may have coming up.
Okay, well, the CFL kicked off last night. I had a winner on an underdog winning outright by double digits with BC, my hometown team. And I am the #1 all-time CFL handicapper at Sports Memo. And I just learned yesterday at Picks and Parlays as well, #1 all-time. #2 all-time at Sports Capping. For those who are interested in the CFL, that's just one of the bonuses. If you follow me in the summer months, dog days of summer, 60%, 80,000 units in profit the last 5 years. And at my website, jesseshul.com, 50% off all weekly and monthly packages at Jesse Shul on Twitter and Jesse Shul on YouTube. You come see me.
There's nothing better than a guy who's hit over 60% of his plays for the last 2 years in all sports. He's Canadian, and he's the best Canadian football handicapper. That's a correlation there, folks. And if you don't like the Canadian Football League, look, a lot of you invest in stocks. Do you watch the stock board every minute of the day? No. Wake up in the morning, see the final score, collect money. Buy some CFL picks from Jesse Shul. He's got a great discount offer for June, July, and August. Take advantage of it, folks. Sean Higgs, what do you got?
I tell people to take Jesse Shul's college football and soccer. Like I don't bet that. That's why he's a great capper, because it's one thing being good in a couple things. Whatever. His records speak for himself. I'm not going to sit here and toot his horn. I know you think he has a crush on me and Jimmy Butler, but come on. You have to.
Or so you know than
Jesse
Jimmy
or
Butler.
anybody. I mean, you could go down. We have leaderboards on sites. Whatever site, all we're on sites. Any site we're on has a leaderboard. Follow the leaderboards. We don't own them. None of the cappers on the thing own them.
Yeah.
The guy's great. What are you going to do? Me? Hey, you want some Major League Baseball? I got you covered there. Midday Money, plenty of free picks 7 days a week on your favorite podcast channels. I'm Mr. Sean Higgs on Twitter. And today I got my top play in baseball. I got a little package up. I think it's $24.99 for my thing. Just one game. And if you buy like a weekly patch, something like that, you're going to get like 10 other games. So there's a lot of baseball. 210 and 211 on the year plus 781.
There you go. That's great handicapping right there. And Sean's all about return on investment when it comes to Major League Baseball betting. So keep an eye there. You can find him at picksandparlays.net. And I can't help but say this. I'm #2 in the last 30 days over at picksandparlays.net. Barely #2 because I'm like less than a unit behind the guy who's #1. And all sports 36-22 the last 58, folks. It's not just about the NBA. And again, NBA playoff runs at my postseason 41-22, good for 65%, including 7-0, 14-4, and 24-8 current runs in the NBA. Major League Baseball 6-2 the last 8. There you have it. JesseShul.com, picksandparlays.net for Sean Higgs. We're all on picksandparlays.net. You can find me at my personal site at rbwins.com. I don't know what you're waiting for. Jump in, make some money above and beyond all the money we've made you on these podcasts. Until the next time, for Mr. Jesse Shul, Mr. Sean Higgs, and Ross Benjamin. Notice I didn't use Mr. before Ross Benjamin. I'm giving these guys a hell of a lot more respect. We will see you the next time. Take care and God bless, folks.